All right, well, let's talk some Tatum.
Well, Jayson Tatum, sort of in the news.
Well, he's bold. I like what he said in a way.
Okay, I will pull up the quote for you right now. Wanted to pull up the box score, too, just so I could talk about the game last night. But he said, I'm humbly one of the best basketball players in the world. And I'm wondering if
the
that
audio.
I wonder if that even makes sense. Here, take a listen.
I'm one of the best basketball players in the world. You know, go through struggles, go through slumps.
So
he did it. You know what? They leave off the quote when it's written is the I go through slumps, I go through struggles. Because it's more salacious when it's just, I'm humbly one of the best. He is. You have to sort of be top tier to say that. I don't think what he said was wrong at all.
Here's why. Like, I wear a lot of Muhammad Ali T-shirts, right? I let him do the bragging for me. I wear some of his quotes on my back. And, he was like, I'm the greatest, right? He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee. Greatest of all time. But you know what? He was, and he backed it up. And other people called him the greatest, and he just ran with it. No one speculates on certain people. People are going to speculate on Jayson Tatum. They got the win, 95-86. He had 19 points. He stepped up. Started slow, though.
Yeah, he really did. Like, he was really bad from the field, and in the fourth quarter, he hit some important shots.
Right. So came through big, so he was feeling himself, and that's fine. So the first basic question that we even throw out there is, does that even make sense? Does it really matter? No, but it is interesting because that quote is trending, and it was all over social media. Again, Jayson Tatum after Game 6 versus the 76ers. I'm humbly one of the best basketball players in the world.
I have a few angles and thoughts on this. Indulge me for a second. When someone says, I'm humbly one of the best, is that sort of contradicting itself?
Yes.
So it's sort of like,
saying I'm probably going to the concert this weekend, maybe.
No, it's like it's
no, I'm definitely maybe going.
When someone says, no offense, but it's like, well, you're about to offend me.
You can't say you're the best and humble all at the same time.
So
that doesn't make sense.
Let me cite a few examples.
But he did, and I'm okay with it. We're just speculating.
Let me cite a few examples, and you tell me if you're okay with these people saying what they say.
The reason I brought up Muhammad Ali is because, like I said, he was. It's debatable if Jayson Tatum is one of the best.
He's on my list. So when Muhammad Ali would say he's the greatest, you're cool with that, right? Because he was. Are you okay or cool with Ricky Henderson holding up a base and proclaiming he's the greatest of all time?
Looking back, no. Because what he did was amazing. At the time, it was criticized. But looking back, what he did was amazing. And his dedication to the sport and the way he played the game and how we'll probably never see. Well, we might with the new changes in baseball, but most likely.
You're never going to see someone come like.
I would say most likely we won't see anyone stealing bases the way Ricky Henderson stole bases.
Like not even close.
Probably not.
Did he still? Was it 130 bases he stole in 1 year, or is that too high?
That's likely.
No.
That sounds about right, right?
It's definitely likely.
Think about that.
Yo, Ramos, I think
he definitely probably did that.
I think someone showed me like a stat one. You know, one of those like unremarkable, like these like unattainable, remarkable stats. Like if the youngest player, like who's a base stealer now, like that, like Trey Turner swipes some bags.
Sure.
There. Like if someone like that, they would have to steal if they stole 100 bases a year.
Anthony Volpe's 11
for
11.
like their career. They still wouldn't even come close.
Right.
Like something absurd.
Yeah, 1982. Ricky stole 130.
Bingo.
With Oakland.
There were times he got on first,
but when he
stole
broke the
second
record,
and third, like right away.
He broke the record, and he stood on second, if I'm not mistaken, and he holds up the bag, and he says he's the greatest, But that's when he broke, I believe, Lou Brock's record. So the criticism back then was like, yeah, you leave that for other people to say. Maybe it was a little premature, but looking back, he was the greatest. He was incredible.
How about this?
I believe he had... Let me see real quick. Stolen bases. He ended up with 1406 in his career.
Damn.
By the way, 25-year career.
I was going to say, Covino just had to do 2 scroll downs on his baseball reference.
So
Scroll. Now, a couple other things that we'll go to Dan Byers' update. Shouldn't you think you're the best at what you do or want to feel that way? If someone said, Hey,
Look,
how's
dude.
your radio show? In my mind, I want to be like, I feel like we're in the top tier. If I didn't feel that way, then I should get a new job. Hey, who's the best on Fox Sports Radio? You know what my answer is? Covino and Rich.
Yeah, but
if
you know
I
what?
felt any other way,
Maybe
wouldn't that make
Tatum
me a
says,
loser?
Yeah, but maybe what Tatum says, though, was the best way to say it. Because you don't want to say, we're good. Or you want to act like you're the best. But you can say humbly, he said one of the best,
Bro,
right?
we're on a
so you know what,
network.
now I think about it, that's probably how I should answer.
One of the best. Listen, we're on a network.
One of the best.
We're on a network with Dan Patrick and Colin Cowherd. I'm realistic of the legacy and the greatness that's on this network. But if you tell me who's the best, I'd say I feel pretty comfortable that we're one of the best,
Look at
right?
the sign right there. Part of the premier sports lineup in the nation. Premier.
I think we made that up.
No.
Oh. I don't think that was the point.
Premier broadcasting.
All right, one last thing before we go to Bayer. When a girl says, I'm so hot, that makes her
Barf.
less hot, though.
Barf, yes.
So when someone says they're great,
Because you're going to be,
right?
It warrants criticism.
What
it
happens?
really does, unless you truly back it up. It's like when, I believe it was John Lennon that said they're bigger than Jesus, right? The Beatles were bigger than Jesus. And maybe at the time,
I've
they
never
were
heard granted, I've never heard Jesus sing.
No, well, at the time, it was Beatles mania. So he was just probably
Mean Carpenter, though.
probably just messing.
He was in the Carpenters, right?
At the time, that's how they felt.
He was
But
part of the Carpenters.
it's gonna warrant criticism no matter
The
what.
original
It
Carpenters.
was Karen, Carpenter, and Jesus, right?
Yeah, the Carpenters. Yeah.
Covino, Ricky Henderson was guilty of this, but what's worse, being that braggadocious about yourself or referring to yourself in the third person?
He did
The
both.
Ricky, yeah,
Yeah, Ricky loved Ricky.
You know what? Yeah, Ricky did love Ricky. That's probably more eye rolling than just saying you're the best.
If you're
It's
not the
actually, the more
best-
you break it down, Rich, the more I like Jayson Tatum's response. To
he
be
said
honest,
one of.
because he said one of. Because I feel very comfortable saying, yeah, we're one of the best. Because you're not saying you're the best. You're just saying you're one of the
Yeah,
best.
that's a great way to look at it. There was a girl. Do you remember? I'll share one of your sleaze stories. Wasn't there some?
Sure, might as well. We're on national radio. Go right ahead.
I remember there was
Who
a girl.
is this guy?
There was a
I don't
girl.
know, man.
There was a girl back in the day. I remember you telling me the story, probably in private. There was a girl that said, "I can't wait to get with you, Covino. You're in for a treat because I'm the best in the West." Or something ridiculous like that. And then you said you hooked up with her and it was boring. You can't go around saying you're the best at something in the bedroom, on the field, anywhere, at work. You can't go around saying you're the best if you're not in that league.
And I said, listen, Mrs. Electra, I've
Carmen
been
Electra.
with.
I don't know. It's not Carmen Electra. That was
I
not-
didn't say it was. I'm just telling. Anyway, you're right, Rich. It just sets you up to be
to look
criticized,
at it.
and sets you up for failure.
All right.
People are going to speculate. Well, are you the best?